So following on from this little series of foot movements where we did the video yesterday where I gave you an exercise to see if you could extend your toes or your big toe separately while keeping your foot flat. So people are asking, okay, I can't do that, one or the other or both. What can I do about it? Right, so what we have on top of the foot into the lower leg, we have foot or toe extensors which lift the toes up into extension. Underneath the foot, going from the big toe and the other toes, is what we call toe flexors. They crunch the toes up. Now, while you could have weak toe extensors that haven't got the strength to lift the toes up, that's more unlikely. It's more than likely that it's going to be tight toe flexors. Now, one of the common causes of this is when people wear flip-flops or similar footwear. Anything without a heel or a strap of some kind to keep the foot attached to the footwear. So what happens when you wear flip-flops, to stop the flip-flops sliding off, you crunch your toes up. And you do that for a long enough period of time on a regular basis. The muscles that crunch the toes up become chronically tightened. Now this, because they're tight, they won't allow the toes then to go into extension. So we need something to alleviate that. So if we get a golf ball, right, so before we go there, when you put your foot up like this and you bend your toe towards you, you'll have this tendon become prominent. Now that is your flexor hallucis longus, FHL. So it's the tendon that goes to the big toe. Hallux is big toe, so hallucis longus. Then you have the flexor digitorums. There's several of them, brevis and longus and so forth, and they work the other four toes. Now, it's worthwhile doing the whole foot. So, golf ball. Put it underneath the ball of the foot, so you're not on the ball joint as such, just off it. And then you can apply some pressure downwards, and it might be quite painful, so you have to adjust the pressure you apply. Now you can either wiggle side to side so you get all the toes worked, and roll in the foot forwards. And you can go all the way to the heel. Now you might remember in a previous video and over the years, I said if you have plantar fasciitis, this is not going to solve it. We're not particularly working on, or we're not working on resolving plantar fasciitis with this. For that, I wouldn't even touch the foot, work on other things. But this is particularly for releasing some tension in the toe flexors to enable us to be able to extend the toes. So don't get the two things confused. So from side on, you're just working there. And you can do this while you're watching TV. If you haven't got carpet, put a towel down on the floor so the ball doesn't roll away if it's tile or wood flooring. Put a towel down and just do small movements. And you can be sat there doing this for 5-10 minutes on each foot. And what you can also do is while you've got the pressure, so for this instance underneath the ball of the foot, you can then use your other fingers to bring the big toe into extension. Now this will stretch the tendons and muscles in the foot, and you can move then over to the other four toes and do the same thing, keeping the pressure down, and then just bring your toes into extension with your fingers. What I'd also recommend is you do some stretching on your calf muscles because they work in tandem. So you might find that the tension is in the calf muscles, and I've got other videos on that on my YouTube channel, so have a look at there and see how that improves. And what you can do is, once you've done that, try again lifting the big toe or the little toes, keeping your foot flat, not coming over like that, and see if that's improved. And then work on it. It might take a couple of weeks for it to really improve, but it's well worth giving that a shot. So let us know in the comment section if you've got any other questions, or whether you've tried eventually when you try this and you see the improvement. And Joni, whatever else is going on?